Behind me are the new parts from one of my friends, Bill. He hit me up. He was like, oh, I think I need to upgrade my PC. I asked him why. Battlefield. I didn't realize how graphically intensive the new Battlefield is going to be. The basic requirements, just to get the basic graphics, require you to have a NVIDIA 2060. So he's rocking a 2080 and he feel like it's not, he played the beta, it's not gonna be where he wanted to be. He's playing on a 1440p monitor, and I was like, okay, what's your budget? We work something out, sent him everything I wanna purchase for this build, and we got here. He's building a whole new, brand new, spanking 1440p PC, and he's gonna love Battlefield in the next month when it comes out. In the star of the show, the AMD 9070 XT. So he wanted something compact. And I was thinking like, it's been a minute since I actually built in a Phanteks build. And they came out with the XT M3 in icy white. And it's very compact, very small, and it can actually fit a full-size 5090 if he wanted it. All right, let's go over the parts. The first part is gonna be the Gigabit Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 6 ICE for the AM5. Next is gonna be the AMD Ryzen 9600X 6-core CPU. Then we're going with the Corsair Vengeance 32 gigabytes at 6400 megahertz. For storage, he's going with 2 terabytes from T-Force, the G50. It should be enough for all the games to come. And Battlefield is only 90 gigs, so definitely should be enough. Something's definitely not needed. He could have went air cooled, but I caught this on a great sale from Newegg. It's the Phanteks Hyperflow 360, and it's gonna be an AIO for the 9600X. Now, I did this for another reason. If he decides to upgrade to maybe like a 9950 or anything later in the future, this will be enough cooling to keep that beast of a CPU under control. Sticking with the all white aesthetics, this is the Corsair RM850E in all white. And again, for the starter show, it's gonna be the ASRock Steel Legend 9070 XT. All right, let's see what's inside this 850 motherboard. You have the antenna for the Wi-Fi. SATA cable, manual, front panel connector, adapter. Makes it easier to plug all your cables in, and a little badge of honor. All right, we got the Gigabit Aorus B850M Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 6 ICE. The ICE means it's actually a white motherboard, and it has loads of USBs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I almost forgot this one right here. And it also has a 10 gig USB-C port right here with a 2.5 gig Ethernet jack. And this one is particularly special because this is how you actually update your BIOS. You can do a Q-Flash on this to update your BIOS without actually turning your computer on. All right, first thing we're gonna do is actually prep the motherboard by applying the CPU in the RAM and the storage of the motherboard. Let's actually start by doing the storage. And one thing I love about this board is actually the easy latch right here to pop over the M.2. One thing I really love about this board is where the M.2 sits and how easy it is to get to it. So it's this latch right here. You just pop it here. And bam, you have 2 M.2 spots. One right here is a Gen 5 and one is a Gen 4. So let's open up the 2 terabyte worth of storage. And we're going to put it right here. Now let's actually do the CPU. So you're gonna move this lever down and out. gonna open up the 9600X. And remember, gold arrow points to the arrow right here. That's how you know you got it lined up. Make sure you keep this. You never know when you actually have to send this off. And it's good to actually have the cover to cover up the pins. Next, it's time for the round. All white to match the aesthetics. Now I need to put the M.2 cover back on. Make sure I move the peel off of this. Motherboard's looking good. Icy white from the RAM. Motherboard. The Phanteks XTM3. Very compact. Be able to put 360mm radiator up top. They already come with included 120s in the front and 120 in the back. And it also has space to actually put 3 more fans here. So a total of 9 fans are able to go in this case. So according to this, it's a screw under the top panel. So first I need to pop this front panel off. So that's not that hard with one hand. And look like I gotta remove 1 screw here and 1 screw there. Side we actually have the screws, zip ties, the case manual. All right, I can actually put the motherboard in now. All right, I think it looks good. Let me, all right, motherboard's in. Let me screw it down. All right, motherboard is screwed in. All right, so it looks like I need to remove this panel here to actually get to all the front panel connector cables and also the fan cables. So let me remove this. All right, so you got your HD audio cable, and then you got your front panel connector, your USB 3.0, and the front panel connector for your Type-C up front, the USB 3.2. All right, so let me give you a heads up. Let me just get this in focus. Right here, the USB 3.0, that you don't have much wiggle room, so just be careful pushing that in. But everything else looks good. So now, let me unwrap the power supply. I don't know where I put my box cutter at, so screwdriver will have to be the next best thing. So I only need a couple cables from this power supply. And there's some attention to detail. Instead of including a black power cable, they actually included a white cable. I'm sure he can, I don't know if he want to actually continue using this white cable, because this white cable gonna get dirty real fast, but it does include a white cable. Power cable. I need a power cable to the motherboard, one for the CPU, the GPU. Okay, so one thing I noticed, it only comes with one PCIe cable, and it's because this power supply actually has a 12 volt 2x6 slot. So what they decided to do is you use the 12 volt 2x6 connector to the power supply, and then it sends out to 2 PCI cables. I honestly wasn't expecting that. I didn't know that, but the material on these cables are actually A1. So hey, I can't complain. And he got a good deal on this power supply. So this is the cable I need. All right, let me hook up the cables to the power supply. It goes to the motherboard. This one gives the motherboard power. This one gives the CPU power. And this one gives the GPU power. All right, so the power supply actually sits back here, and it has this extension cable that goes right here that allows you to power up your system from here. And you won't actually see this power supply because it's in its own little chamber. So let me tie this down and actually run all the cables, and then I'm gonna hook up the AIO. So all I gotta do is just plug it in right. So I plugged in the cable. The only thing I don't like about it, power on and power off the power supply if need be, you gotta take this whole front panel off. The whole front panel off to actually power off your power supply. All right, I need to open up the AIO. Oh, thank God. It does come with all the fans already attached. I just want to make sure they're in the right orientation. Yeah, it looks like it's in the right orientation. So this actually perfect. All right, so for AM5, I gotta use this bracket and these. All right, let me see if I could put this AIO in one-handed. Oh, that's pretty nice. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to put these screws in. All right, the AIO is in. All right, I'm gonna hook up the pump to the CPU, and then I'm gonna do cable management. All right, so this is the pump. I need to remove the bracket from this first and put the AM5 bracket on. So it did come with some extra thermal paste because I feel like I might mess up the pre-applied. Okay, it slides right off pretty good. And the new bracket slides in just like that. All right, let's see if I can put it on the right the first time. First one hooked down. Now I just need to get that second one. And I got that second one in. Now I just need to tighten it up. You always want to kind of do equal pressure. All right, this end is looking good. All right, the build is almost complete. So the only thing I have left now is to actually put the GPU in and turn it on. So I'm gonna do the cable management off screen. One thing I always do is wait until I actually power it up and make sure everything's working before I start zip tying everything down. Now it's time for the unboxing of the ASRock Steel Legend 9070 XT. Steel Legend. Man, this card is hella light compared to any 5000 series. Man, this card is gonna go pair so well in its build. This is the ASRock Steel Legend 9070 XT. All right, let's remove all the peels. this peel. I believe it. Yep. All right, to actually put the GPU in, I need to remove these 2 screws here. It's actually a bracket right here that you just pop off. It's like a little cover to get to these screws. So first thing I'm gonna do is remove this one. Remove this one. One last look. One thing I noticed, it actually has a Q latch design. So once the GPU goes in, to release it, you can just press this little button. Instead of trying to find this little lever here, it automatically releases the graphics card for you. All right, let's put this graphics card in. All right, graphics card in, let's screw it down. And put the cables on. All right, let me put this cover back on so I don't forget. All right, now you gotta hook up the cables. I really don't like this design for the cables. Like, it should have just came together, separated. I know they're thinking about lower tier graphics cards that only use a 6-pin. Gotta make sure everything's in correctly. And that was good, actually. All right, everything's in. All right, let's see if I can get it to boot. Is all the RGB working? Okay. All right, it actually booted. It's gonna let me get in the BIOS. Let's see. BIOS has been reset. All right, we're good. I can actually get in the BIOS. As you see, I need to enable everything. Everything is reading. We're golden. Let me do this cable management. Let's put some games on here, set everything up on Windows for them, and see how this bad boy do. All right, now y'all see the build is complete. Only thing I need y'all to do is like and subscribe and stand by for future builds. Thank you.